Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a Victoria man is arrested for online solicitation of a minor.
Plus, a driver is hospitalized after crashing through several fences.
And 2 are dead, 13 hospitalized after a chemical release at a Houston area plant.
It's a beautiful night to get out and watch some football. I'll have that and your weekend forecast coming up in weather.
And you saw there again from Scott, it's the Bloomington Bobcats versus the Kennedy Lions in our game of the week. We'll show you that game and more coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Shawna Currie.
A Victoria man faces a charge of online solicitation of a minor, sexual conduct. Victoria County deputies arrested 45-year-old Thomas Rocha Thursday. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $75,000 bond.
Another Victoria man is in jail accused of possession of child pornography. 62-year-old Richard Hinojosa was arrested by deputies on Tuesday. He is being held at Victoria County Jail with no bond. A driver goes to the hospital after driving through 3 residential fences. This happened around 10:30 this morning in the 400 block of Meori Lane. Police say the driver was in the westbound lane and for an unknown reason veered into the eastbound lane and then drove through the fences. The extent of the driver's injuries is unknown.
Charges against a Hallettsville man include aggravated robbery and an aggravated sexual assault. Hallettsville police arrested 35-year-old Darius Brown after a woman accused him of assaulting her while she was walking in the park. He is in the Lawrence County Jail in lieu of $250,000 bond.
A traffic stop in Wharton County leads to a drug bust. A Texas DPS trooper stopped 48-year-old Paul Gonzalez of Brownsville for speeding in a construction zone. A search of his tractor trailer uncovered 8 kilos of cocaine. Gonzalez was arrested on a drug dealing charge, and he is in the Wharton County Jail on a $50,000 bond. Well, soldiers from across the country are getting a South Texas-style welcome and thank you. Around 300 Defenders of Freedom arrived at the Warriors Weekend Field of Honor in Victoria this afternoon for a special welcome ceremony hosted by local leaders from across the crossroads. The ceremony finished with the Warriors finding their own flag in the Field of Honor. Then they loaded up the buses to head to Port O'Connor, where they will enjoy a day of fishing tomorrow.
A man was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of a man whose body was found in Refugio County almost 40 years ago. Gordon Parsons pleaded guilty to the murder of Robert Mooney of Zapata. On February 5, 1985, Mooney's body was found. In February of this year, a Refugio County grand jury indicted Parsons for the murder of Mooney. The indictment was based on evidence provided by the Texas Rangers. A burn ban in Lavaca County remains in effect. Authorities there say the county is extremely dry. A pasture fire there was started from tractor shredding activities. Mower and cutter blades can hit objects and accidentally cause sparks. Lavaca County officials say to use caution and report any fire immediately.
Yeah, definitely dry in the area.
Oh, absolutely.
No rain in the forecast. Looks like we're going to have a gorgeous night for football. In for First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez, we have meteorologist Scott Pitney with your forecast. Scott.
It is a great night to be out and watch football. We have our CFL game of the week, the Kennedy Lions versus the Bloomington Bobcats at Bobcat Field. Kickoff temperature 83 degrees under clear skies. Notice at the end of the game, 73 degrees. That temperature dropping off pretty fast with all that dry air. That temperature will drop down pretty good. So those winds will be southeast at 5 to 10. For the rest of the weekend, we can expect dry and warm conditions, but sunny skies to continue. The cold front arrives Tuesday, but we will not see any rain with that front. I'll have all that coming up in your forecast.
Scott, thank you. The Salvation Army of Victoria commanding officer is on the road helping hurricane victims. This is video sent to us by Captain Kenny Jones. He was first sent Wednesday to Georgia to help victims from Hurricane Helene. A day later, they were sent to help victims of Hurricane Milton in Sarasota, Florida. Captain Jones is part of a 20-vehicle caravan. He's on a 2-week assignment helping with information and communications between the Salvation Army and first responders, the Red Cross, and others. In Florida and across much of the southeast, the storms have passed, but the recovery is just beginning.
For many, it's difficult to distinguish between where the damage of Hurricane Helene begins versus the devastation from Hurricane Milton. but help is on the way.
Double destruction in the Sunshine State.
I think the complicating factor here is going to be there's 2 storms.
Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida as a deadly Category 4 hurricane, carving a 500-mile path of destruction across 6 states. Then Milton hit as a Category 3 storm, bringing tornadoes, torrential rain, and storm surge.
And having 2 major hurricanes in less than 3 weeks has really decimated our downtown area.
In Valrico, Hillsborough County deputies are still evacuating people from flooded homes.
We're 6 feet deep. We have some people who believe that it might get as high as 20 feet.
In Pinellas County, hundreds remain in shelters, some who've been there for weeks.
We have over 170 people that have actually been in shelters with us since Hurricane Helene.
The rescues and relief pouring in.
Our available force represents the largest National Guard response in Florida.
We have an additional $50 million on top of what we did for Hurricane Helene.
FEMA says people will need to apply for separate hurricane relief for each storm.
We're just going to have to continue to work with each person as they're working through understanding what they experienced from Helene, what they experienced from Milton, so they can get everything that they're eligible for.
While victims assess the damage left behind, moments of hope and resilience begin to emerge.
We had a beautiful baby girl that was born in one of our shelters. Our shelter staff helped with the delivery.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
The District 27 U.S. congressional race between incumbent Michael Cloud and challenger Tanya Lloyd is an important election here locally. 25 News Now reached out to both candidates to hear about some of their goals and policies if elected. While we're still waiting on a response from Congressman Cloud, Lloyd says she believes she reflects the desires of the district. She has also put emphasis on supporting pro-choice policies, saying she wants to defend women's health care.
I truly believe that I represent Texas values, and I will fight to represent everyone in this district. I think about women in my position now that might have the same syndrome that I had, but much earlier in the pregnancy, and not being able to make those decisions with their doctor without interference from the state.
Congressman Cloud has held the position since 2018. Voters will choose between Cloud and Lloyd in the upcoming November 5th election. And now here's a look at today's viewer poll. Do you feel adequately informed about political candidates in the upcoming election? Yes, somewhat, or no? We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate. And right now, 77% of you say that you do feel that you're getting the information on the political candidates that are up for election here in November. So continue to participate, and we'll have the latest results on 25 News Now at 10.
Pemex officials confirmed that 2 people died and 13 others were hospitalized after a hydrogen sulfide gas release at their Deer Park facility. Authorities said 35 people were treated at the site Thursday. The incident happened at one of the plant's operating units. It involved a release of hydrogen sulfide, a highly toxic and flammable gas. Pemex confirmed they are working closely with federal, state, and local agencies as they continue to investigate the cause of the incident.
Meat producer Brubaker recalls nearly 10 million pounds of its products after a listeria outbreak. The USDA lists these Texas stores that sell Brubaker products at Walmart, Market Side Caesar salad with chicken, at H-E-B, chicken, broccoli, and rice casserole, and at Aldi, Little Salad Bar Santa Fe style salad and Little Salad Bar chicken Caesar salad. Brubaker foods produced as recently as October 8th may be linked to listeria. Anyone with any of these products should return them to the store for a full refund.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's voter registration suit against Travis County has been returned to state court. The Texas Tribune reports a federal court found that it did not have jurisdiction over the issue, as Travis County officials had argued. It granted Paxton's request that the lawsuit be returned to state court. Paxton sued Travis County officials on September 5th, arguing that the county's voter registration effort violated state law and claiming that it would register non-citizens who are ineligible to vote. 2
major party candidates for U.S. Senate will face off in a live debate on October 15th. Senator Ted Cruz, the Republican incumbent from Houston, is seeking his third term. Representative Colin Allred, a Democrat from Dallas, was first elected to the U.S. House in 2018. You can watch the hour-long debate starting at 7 p.m. on our sister stations, MeTV 33.1 KQZY, or on 25 Now 25.4. This debate offers voters a key opportunity ahead of Election Day on Tuesday, November 5th.
Texas students can now see which state public universities would accept them before they apply. The Texas Tribune reports students can enter their class rank, grade point average, and standardized test scores to get a list of universities to which they'd be admitted. The new tool, called Direct Admissions, allows students to plug in their information into the state's college and career website, called My Texas Future. Students can get the information starting at the end of their junior year of high school.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell to receive alerts when we upload new videos to YouTube. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, investigators were trying to figure out what led an elevator door to malfunction at a former Colorado gold mine, killing one person and leaving many more stranded.
Also had the Trump campaign request increased security after assassination attempts.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Victoria ISD, we hear from the City of Victoria, and we hear from candidate A.J. Louderback.
We're probably 5 plants short in our state on power. And, you know, security of our powers has always been a concern of mine. But we've got to get to work on that, and it'll be a priority for me in Austin.
Welcome back. One person was killed and nearly 24 people were trapped 1,000 feet deep at the base of a former gold mine in Colorado. Some of the tourists were stuck at the base for 6 hours after the elevator that takes them to the mine malfunctioned.
Well, today we learned a father died from the accident. An investigation is underway to figure out what went wrong.
A daring rescue deep inside a Colorado gold mine after nearly 24 people were trapped 1,000 feet below.
And here's the good news. 45 minutes ago, we were able to get the last person out of the 1,000-foot level of the mine.
Teller County officials say the elevator that takes visitors to the base malfunctioned at the Molly Kathleen gold mine, killing one person. 11 people, including children, were pulled to safety early on, but a dozen visitors stranded at the base of the tourist destination for 6 hours. Officials say the tour guide, a local father, 46-year-old Patrick Weir, was killed in the mining accident.
All I know that he was a good man, and he loved his job, and he was a part of a mine safety crew, and he'd done different things. He'd just gotten done with a fire academy. For us, and what it looks like, that he may have been a hero.
The gold mine has existed since the late 1800s and became a tourist attraction in the 60s, attracting tourists during its mine tour season, which runs from May through mid-October.
I will tell you, the owner of this mine and the family that have been behind this mine for many, many years have done a great job of making everything safe. They put thousands of people down this mine for tours, and with very, very low safety concerns.
Engineers were able to repair the elevator stuck at about 500 feet and then run cables up and down so rescuers could save the trapped people.
OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, is now investigating what went wrong and caused the elevator to malfunction. As for the tourists who were rescued, they were checked out by medical staff. 4 people had minor injuries. Melissa Adan, ABC News, Los Angeles.
After 2 attempted assassinations and a threat from Iran, Donald Trump's campaign ramped up requests for security. CNN reports the Trump campaign wants transport by military aircraft and additional security measures on the ground at the former president's campaign stops. President Joe Biden, when asked about Trump's requests, said that they should be fulfilled, quote, as long as he doesn't ask for F-15s. Trump's campaign also asked the Secret Service to increase the safety glass they use at Trump's outdoor rallies.
It's back to business as usual at Central Florida theme parks. Disney World and Universal Orlando reopened today. Both operators closed their parks on Wednesday and Thursday due to Hurricane Milton. The hotels they operate remained open through the storm. It's rare for theme parks in Central Florida to close. Hurricanes are the main reason they do so. Go figure, Scott.
Well, Don, those feels like temperatures looking very pleasant for that morning walk tomorrow morning. We'll have that, plus the timing of the next cold front coming up next in weather. Stay with us. And welcome back. Looking at 87 for your current feels like temperature. The wind southeast at 11. Dew point somewhat pleasant at 64 degrees, and the humidity right now at 48%. Future feels like temperatures for tonight. Put this at 8 o'clock. That's generally when a lot of the kickoff times are, around the mid 70s, a few upper 70s north and then south toward the coast. Here's those feels like temperatures again for tomorrow morning. Low to mid 60s, a few 70s right along the coast where it's a little more humid. And then by the afternoon, notice that onshore flow bringing that moisture in. That's going to make those feels like temperatures go up mid 90s, a few low 90s along the coast, but pretty warm considering this is October. High temperatures for the next few days in the mid 90s. And then here's the cold front coming through on Tuesday. There's your average high of 86, getting back down below that average after the passage of that front to 84. High temperatures around the state, pretty much the same as we have here in the Crossroads, mid to even upper 90s. Look at that, Wichita Falls 99, San Angelo 98. Hard to believe we are talking about October temperatures in Texas. Here's that front Sunday night in the northern part of the state as it approaches the Crossroads. I'm going to stop it right here. This is 4 a.m. Tuesday, so expected to arrive sometime early Tuesday morning, then push through. Notice no rain with this front. And then high pressure builds in behind the front. We'll have that northerly dry air again. We have some fire dangers right now, but when that front comes through and brings that northerly wind with that dry air, those fire dangers go up. So make sure that you're very careful. I wouldn't recommend burning anything outside right now unless you absolutely have to. Here's that southerly flow bringing a slight rain chance. This is Friday at 5 o'clock. We'll call it 20% for right now. Our drought monitor showing dry conditions, what we call D0, are dry conditions. But when you get up to Gonzales, this is now in D1, moderate. And then when you get into the hill country, severe to extreme drought. So the drought monitor comes out every Thursday. We'll see. And I expect those colors to change as we don't have any rain forecast over the next week or so. Tropical activity, National Hurricane Center, not really marking this area, but kind of keeping an eye on it for next week. But we are watching Tropical Storm Leslie that just won't seem to go away. Still surviving the Atlantic, moving off to the east. And then we also have Disturbance 1 now with a 50% chance of development as it tracks west across the southern Atlantic basin. Here's your marine future forecast. Great time to be out on the water tomorrow. Waking up to 60s along the coast. That east to southeasterly flow 5 to 10. Winds very light, not too bad out on the water. By the afternoon, those temperatures getting up to mid and upper 80s. Those winds remain light. And then as we get to Sunday, winds a little bit more from a southerly direction, so a little bit more of an onshore flow, bringing in the humidity a little bit more for Sunday, and then those temperatures still along the coast in the mid to upper 80s. Port Lavaca, your high tide 7:28, low tide coming at 8:20 p.m. Wind south-southeast 5 to 10. Those bay waters smooth at 2 feet. Port Lavaca waking up to 74 degrees under mostly sunny skies, 85 by noon, 89 by 3. Sunset temperature at 84. Victoria waking up to 83, 91 for your 3 p.m. temperature. And then Cuero 71, 88 for your high by 3 p.m. Sunset temperature not dropping much, still at 88 degrees. Average high for tomorrow for the Crossroads, 93 degrees under sunny skies, winds light at 5. Low temperatures are going to hold in the mid-60s. High temperatures are going to hold in the mid-90s. Columbus Day, sunny skies, 95. Few people off that day. And then we have that front that comes through on Tuesday, dropping those highs to the mid-80s. Look at that low temperature down to the 50s, upper 50s, and then low 60s for the rest of the week. And there's that 20% chance of rain on Friday. Of course, you can download the Crossroads Today app, get the latest in news, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Sign up for email alerts, and of course, it's free. Shawna.
All right, looks like a great weekend for the fishing rodeo, but first we've got to get through Friday football. So Max Williams joins us with a look at what he has coming up in sports.
Yeah, that's right, Shawna. We're in week 7 of high school football, but don't get too ahead of yourselves. I'm going to cover here UHV soccer and women's soccer from last night. I'll tell you about those 2 games and football coming up in sports. All right, everyone, we have made it through here to week 7 of high school football. And our game of the week here tonight will be between the Kennedy Lions and the Bloomington Bobcats. And sports reporter Zach Brown is at Bobcat Stadium with offensive coordinator Jerry Gibson to talk about tonight's game. Zach?
Well, thanks, Max. We're here with Jerry Gibson, the offensive coordinator of these Bloomington Bobcats. And, Coach, you guys are on the verge of doing something that hasn't been done in about 25 or 30 years, 99. Do the math on that. I don't know how many years. But you guys are about to go 3-0 in district play. How does that feel?
It's great for our students. It's great for the coach staff. For Coach Shands, he's first-year head coach. He had invested 2 years as defensive coordinator, so he's got a little blood, sweat, and tears in this program already. But to see a lot of his work pay off now it feels good. It feels good for everybody involved. The town, they painted up the stores and everything. So yeah, it's exciting.
Now, I am hoping that a lot of people will be here tonight. I'm sure these guys are excited to see what the Bloomington team can do out here tonight. They have not made the postseason since 1999, and they're about to be 3-0 in district play if they get a win tonight. What are you expecting crowd-wise tonight, and have you seen a lot of support out and about around the town?
Yeah, out and about around town, there's a lot of excitement. I mean, people came actually and decorated the locker room today for boys and stuff like that. And like I said, they painted some of the stores and here in town. And so, we didn't play great non-district at home. We had some injuries and some tough opponents. And then we played 2 weeks ago. We played Danbury. It was a Thursday night. So Thursday night, and we were 0-2 at home. So it wasn't a lot of people here. But I really anticipate that the community is going to come and they're going to be loud tonight. And we hope we can play well for them.
Absolutely. Pack the house. Kickoff is at 7:30. These guys are doing something that hasn't been done in about 25 years. It's historic. It's great. And they beat Kennedy last year. That's who they get tonight. Kickoff is in about an hour. Reporting from Bloomington, Zach Brown, KABU TV 25, News Now Sports.
All right, Zach, and now getting in for football then in the European side, right? We got UHV soccer. They're playing home yesterday against the Southwest Mustangs. They won 4-2 versus the Jaguars, and they got back on the winning track because they were on a 3-game losing streak heading into yesterday's game. But they got on the board early from Matthias Jorstand. He got a deflection, and then he got the goal and would score, make them get up 1-0. They would get another goal then by Archie Mills and then Yahir Pena. And then the Mustangs, they fought back, but it wasn't enough, and a big-time win for the men's team. And for UHV women's soccer, they also played yesterday earlier. They took care of business over Southwest, winning 5-1. And one of the star players, see in this photo here, is midfielder Caitlin McCarty. She scored twice in the UHV win. And McCarty is originally from Corpus Christi, and she said after the game, I was a little nervous at first, but I was glad because I'd worked so hard. And now Jaguars, they got to shift their attention to tomorrow afternoon's game versus Paul Quinn. And again, just a heads up here, in about 4 hours time, we're going to have Crossroads Football live here right after 25 News Now at 10 p.m. It'll be at 10:35 p.m. here on KABU TV, and I'll give you all the updates, scores, highlights, everything that's happened. We got unbeaten teams in Alamo Heights and Victoria West. We have Ganado playing Weimar, and then I just mentioned it, right? Bloomington game versus Kennedy. So Don and Shawna, it's going to be a great week 7 here of high school football.
All right, thanks, Max, and we're back in a moment. Fall is showing up big time in Vermont. Stay tuned for the fall colors of red, orange, and yellow. Finally tonight, I hope you're watching this on high definition television. I'm telling you, the mountain vistas of Vermont are exploding in fall color bursts of red, orange, and yellow. This drone footage first shows the Cross Vermont Trail, then a trip to Stowe, home to world-renowned ski resorts. Clear skies and shimmering river waters offered a perfect backdrop to the stunning mountain vistas of Mount Mansfield in the distance. And finally, a stop to see some more bursts of color where a creek offered a stunning view of the mountainside ablaze in color. Ladies and gentlemen, that is fall.
Sounds like a tourism advertisement.
But, I mean, we don't get a chance to see that around
Well,
here,
I'm glad
reasons.
one state knows it's fall because Texas is still trying to find fall. But we'll get a little taste of it, just a little taste of it with our next front, which is scheduled to come through Tuesday. And then we'll see those temperatures, at least high temperatures, get down to normal mid-80s.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tonight at 10.